Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Terezi E.
I need to take that down.
Oh, that's beautiful. Bye.
Thank you, Cornsey. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he wrote a blog about that, you drink. If My Sock Summer mentions his time on the West Coast or doesn't know a player, you drink. If I swear or say, here's the thing, you drink. And if Chief mentions UFOs or Woat Sox Dave, you drink. Also, you can make any of us shut the fuck up for 5 minutes for just $5. And you can make all of us drink with a tip of $1.08. Which leads me to my next question for you fellas. What are you drinking?
Man.
And My Sock Summer, I'm going to start with you, my friend. What are you drinking tonight?
Probably the biggest question for tonight, other than, what will Chief say that will get White Sox Dave canceled tomorrow on the Twitters, is what am I drinking tonight? So, Loaf, you're the winner right now, kind of.
I'm ahead of the competition. That's correct. Yep.
So it's like 2 percentage points right now, which is pretty amazing because you're like a regular gambling kind of guy.
Give a little background here. We did Super Bowl bets last week, and it was all weird prop bets. There's 2 that are outstanding. I'm still pissed at the book that has not graded these, but we're really down to how many hot dogs and beers were sold in the stadium on Sunday. I don't know how they haven't figured that out by yet. Like it's ridiculous, but regardless, My Sock Summer needs the unders to come in. If he gets the unders, he actually wins. Yep. So you're drinking already as a loser.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you might be the winner.
Which you normally are. So you could actually win, but it's a rarity. You're normally a loser, so I'm glad you're thinking for that.
We'll talk about my winning week later. I got a pretty good win this week, so we'll talk about that later. But hey, so Loaf, you're left hand or right hand, buddy? I got 2 bottles of wine in my hand. You pick one.
With your hand? Oh, I'm picking one. I thought you meant which hand you drink with. I'm like, whatever you want. I don't know. Right hand. We're going with your right hand. Okay. That's your this hand, so we're going right-handed.
Man,
yes,
funny, baby.
Yes, I can't believe I nailed it. I can't believe I got that perfect.
You knew that, right?
What was the left hand? What's in the left hand?
Incredible wine. Incredible wine.
It is also Mad Dog, but it is blue. This one is Electric Melon. So I have a fancy glass here.
The green one was always my favorite as a kid.
Wasn't on sale, Terezi.
Oh yeah.
I think Ball Joe would go buy them for you when you guys were like 12.
When it was like, we were like 13, 14, but he had already had the hair on his chest and stuff and a beard, and he would just walk into that place on it's not there anymore, so I'm sure it's fine. But on 37th and Halstead. I think it was 37th and Halstead. Yeah, around there, Sangamon or something he would just walk in, buy us some bum wine, and we'd be off for the night. Man.
This is definitely bum wine. Here we go. I've never had Electric Melon. I can't. I don't even know if I've had that.
Give us some tasting notes.
Give it a swirl and a sniff first. I want
to
breathe it in.
And, all right,
it smells like bubble yum watermelon. I mean, the sugar notes are way up my nostrils right now, so I got that going.
You got diabetes again.
Okay. Does not seem to be any legs whatsoever. So
that happens sometimes. It's a little young, maybe.
I mean, that's not good.
Now,
the
question is, with any good bum wine, what I need to know is, it's coming down. You feel the heat. Is it a hot run? Oh man, that's not going to keep you warm in the winter. Then I don't like it.
I've been drinking bottom shelf bourbon for like the last 6 months.
You know what the problem is, Treasy? He's got to let it open up a little bit. All right, that's wine talk. He's got to let it open. Don't just drink it so fast. Let it open up, okay?
You're not even getting the
Is there ice in there?
You're not getting the tannins.
Oh yeah, there's ice.
Oh man,
he's ruining the flavor. You know the taste.
I don't think it's ruining anything.
He's not getting the tannins.
Ruining anything. So I have 1,500 milliliters of Mad Dog 2020 in my basement right now. I will try the blue, the electric blue one after this.
Trash blue raspberry.
Oh, that's going down later.
I'll drink the blue raspberry next. I'll try that. I'm not even going to try to drink both of them, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I remember we had Boone's Farm for a softball game. Our guy Donnie brought out the Boone's Farm, and I remember this kid. He's drinking a solo cup of blue Hawaiian wine, and he's like, this is pretty damn good. I'm like, that's not the first time anyone said that about blue wine. Beef, what variety of blue wine are you drinking tonight?
You know what? I figured since I'm off the hook, I don't got to go bourbon tonight. I'm going to go cocktail tonight, boys. So I got me a pomegranate martini. Actually, I got 3 of them because I got them in the fridge over here. We're all lined up. It's a special night, boys. We're celebrating tonight. We'll get to that in the second half of the show, but we're celebrating. Cheers.
I hate you using a martini glass. It's just like
I'm keeping it classy, man. I got my Barada Gang shirt on for our guest, and I got my classy ass drink.
Cheers, Gordo. Thank you.
Gordo, bless you. Thank you for the drink.
Hey, let me pour some more in there, and I'll give you a nice little chug, Gordo.
Oh baby, chugging some Mad Dog. That's a terrible idea.
This is great.
Since you guys asked, I'm drinking some Brickstone APA while he chugs this.
Those are delicious. I bought those actually.
Actually, Brickstone is down in Bourbonnais, right? Isn't that Bourbonnais Brewery?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I mean, you could look at the fucking.
Now, where's Bourbonnais? Is that in Mexico?
You guys,
I don't know outside the city, man. I don't know outside.
It's down by. It's in between here and Champaign. So
wonderful. Beef, how you doing tonight?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm good. I want to rekindle some talk. I've been talking about books the last couple weeks. I got to bring back one more book anecdote. I bought you guys copies of Rick Rubin's Creative Way. I gave you yours, Treasy. MSS, I'm going to get you yours tomorrow when I come get my Wave sucked hoodie.
Yep.
And so I listened to that on Audible, but I also bought us physical copies. And then I kind of moved over and I'm listening to Quincy Jones's 12 Notes because I thought I'm going to listen to the creative guys back to back, And I'm listening to Quincy Jones's book, and it opens up with him talking for a little bit. Then it gets to the narrator. Now, in Rick Rubin's book, Rick Rubin narrates his own book. Okay, he does the whole thing. Yeah. This one has a reader. And I'm listening for a while, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know this voice from somewhere. And they're talking music stuff, and Quincy Jones is from Chicago and all this stuff.
Can I guess?
Go ahead. I don't think you'll get it. But.
It was Rockwell.
It was not Rockwell. No.
And
so I realized where I get the voice from. It was the same person that read Scottie Pippen's book that I also listened on Audible. And by the time I was done with Scottie Pippen's book, I'm like, this is Scottie Pippen reading the book because I kind of like melded them together in my head. So I'm listening. I'm like, man, I can't believe Scottie Pippen is reading Quincy Jones's book. So I'm listening at work. I'm like, he's doing a good job, actually. I'm really enthralled in this. And then I'm working on spreadsheets and shit. I'm not paying as close of attention. And then all of a sudden my brain, your brain floats away and it's in the story, but you're not really paying attention. I'm like, I'm thinking it's actually Scottie Pippen. I'm like, holy shit, Scottie Pippen took a whole big band to France to play jazz. I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't remember this part of his Bulls career. When did he retire too? Like Jordan, what the fuck's going on here? So you guys ever have that where you have someone reads a book? Like if you, Teresa, you listen to a ton of Audible books. Do you ever have a reader that you get again and you envision the other book or the other scenario that was going on? It's like, man, it's that same fucking voice. It's confusing to me.
So different. But in the similar vein. So I listen to a lot of Star Wars books.
Yeah.
Right. And so when they do these books, they do the voices, right? I mean, they're
imitate Chewie's voice.
And there's this one, and she is so terrible at every voice. It's like that Family Guy skit where every voice is the same person, so I can't even tell who's talking to who. Yeah. I bought a book. I heard the first 3 paragraphs come out, and I knew it was her. I never read the book. and I refuse to read it too.
Here.
So it's never going to be consumed by me.
Oh, a bad narrator will absolutely kill the audiobook experience. You will have absolutely no interest in it whatsoever. It's weird, and a good one will kind of pull you into it. It's such a interesting skill to have, like reading a book out loud for people. Like it's bizarre.
Dude, that has to be so fucking tough. Like you think about just doing like a minute and a half ad read or something. Yeah. Like that you're recording and you got to get it perfect.
We'll do that in a little bit.
You got to do a bunch of takes. Could you imagine doing 15 hours of a book
this morning?
Like I always
take all my life.
It blows my mind, especially when you get like these books by like guys like Nassim Taleb and stuff, where it's like this really complicated subject matter, and like these people can just like do it. It's incredible. It's an incredible skill. My sex Summer, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, and I dropped my youngest off at school this morning, and as I'm leaving, like I don't consider myself like a peer of my daughter's teacher. I mean, she's like in her probably early 20s, and so I don't consider myself a peer. I've always thought of myself as an older person, but when she says to me, Mr. Summer, I was like, holy fuck, I'm fucking old. Like I'm gonna be 46, right? And I'm like, holy shit. And the guest we're having on tonight, you know, Chief thinks that he's like old as hell, and he's like 32, or 36, or whatever. Right. But anyway, it's just like I'm like, oh my god, like I'm nearing death. Like I am not cool anymore.
No, I was thinking about this. I was like, if I'm lucky, I'm 44. If I'm lucky, I got another 44 years left.
Maybe.
It seems like not that much time. I'm like, fuck, I'm running out here, man. I got to get some shit done.
I don't have 44 years left.
You don't look like it. You know?
I'm aging exponentially. There's no way that's my time.
Teresa, we got good genes though. We had one grandfather lived to 90, and the other grandfather lived into his early 80s, but he smoked every day since he was 12 years old. So I think we got a shot, man. He
and I are on the same health plan.
Pretty much.
I think my one grandfather died at 56. And the other one died, I think he was in his late 80s. So but he was ornery. He was ornery and not fun to be around. So I don't know.
MSS, I got a question about your story.
Yeah.
It's not going to leave my mind. Did you change the name so that like you didn't say your last name, or did they actually call you Mr. Summer?
I was thinking that too. That was in my head. Like the teacher knows.
Like they were like Mr. Summer.
No,
like that would be awesome.
She does know my last name. But yeah. So feeling old all day today. Knees were killing me. Walking around, I'm like, God damn it! I need to take more CBD. Possibly a Nuprin. I don't know.
Drugs.
But you know what else makes you feel a lot younger? Isn't that when you start dressing like Fred Durst for podcasts? So that's what I was like.
I wasn't gonna mention.
I'm gonna look like
that. Boy.
I'm in my.
I wasn't gonna mention you were all dursted up.
Listen, you can't be 46 with this thing on your head. I was gonna download a sound clip for Roland to hit right now, but I couldn't find it. So listen,
that's being 46 right there. I couldn't work the internet to find the thing I needed.
Couldn't find it. Couldn't find it. I spent too much time downloading stupid fucking clips, and it's not enough. Teresa, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I got two quick things I want to. In the first one,
oh my god, you're like your brother. Jeez.
First one's right up your alley, MSS. We got to bring this up. So there's this tweet I think everybody's probably seen by now about this young lady. She allegedly decapitated a man during sex, continued to perform sexual acts on his dead body, and mutilated his corpse with a bread knife. Then put his severed head and penis in a bucket and other parts in a crock pot. And MSS. Oh, by the way, she also attacked her attorney in court.
Good.
MSS, good. My question to you is: only the murder was bad, right? The rest is above board. Is this? If I'm following your chain of logic.
I'm saying, and like for a little background, although I'm pretty sure anybody that's in this live stream right now knows the whole background, is we were talking pre-Dahmer thing on Netflix, and we were talking about, oh man, all the rape and the abductions and all this stuff and how bad it was, and then Teresa's like, well, and he ate them too, and I was like, well, I don't think that's the worst part. I think these experimenting on bodies and making them into. I'm doubling down.
Say you said
I know I'm doing this.
That part's not so bad, I think, is what you said.
I said in comparison to the drugging, the raping, the keeping alive, and then experimenting on the bodies. No, eating the dead body parts is not that big of a deal compared to those things. Like in Like, both are bad. This is where I wish I had that Venn diagram finished, so I could just be like, all these things are bad.
I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but I after watching like 8 episodes of the Dahmer, and I finished the Dahmer Netflix thing, I sided with MSS. I told him when we went to Run the Hills, I'm like, I'm on your side, because drilling into a live person's head, way worse than eating them.
All horrible.
Well after that.
Horrible.
You know, it's like, if we're putting it on the scale of things, it's way after. So I'm with MSS there.
There was a guy in his house, like, getting repeatedly raped and beaten, and then made him watch videos. And then he escapes. And like, you think because he ate a dead guy's
where is
spleen,
making him watch
worse?
videos on your scale? Is that above? Like,
depends what the
it's
video
fine
is,
that he
man.
ate him, but he couldn't make him watch videos, man.
Well, that's not as bad as the eating. The eating is worse than that. Yeah, that's definitely worse.
Well, at least we got that going.
Yeah, we got that going for us.
So I will say, since
I saw that girl though, and I swear to God, I've probably seen her a few times. So yeah, she had impeccable makeup for somebody that had just mutilated and then effed a corpse and then made a crock pot dinner. It was great. Jesus Christ.
Crockpot dinner. So he went too far again. He could have left it there, Treasy. He went way too far, said crockpot dinner. I know what he's saying. He's saying it would have been classier. It would have been classier if the head and penis were not just in a bucket, maybe a glass bowl, something decorative, right? That's where he wanted to go with that. You motherfucker. I know how you are.
They paired the legs with a nice MD 2020. So it was
the blue, though. It was the blue.
Very classy dinner.
It's hitting pretty nice.
Since we're not,
yes, go ahead.
We're going to do game night tonight, so we're not really talking a lot of socks. I did want to bring up something to tie back to last week's podcast, but also the first day of pitchers and catchers reporting, and obviously a few others were there, but they are absolutely prepping Romy Gonzalez for the Jacob May Award. Like
100%. Yes.
And he might also be the best shape of your life guy. Like they're so over the moon about this guy that they didn't even let come to Schaumburg like 2 years ago.
Right.
Like they're like, oh, this guy's incredible. And you know what? If he comes no leg kick, I said this on the Spaces the other day with Josh.
Heard you.
He comes no leg kick, I'm all in. I'm all in on Romy.
You got his back.
I want to know if you guys are coming with me. If there's no leg kick, the leg kick's got to go. If it's gone,
like the leg kick.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
No,
I want to go with you because he's a terrific athlete. Like, we had White Sox Dave on here, and we were talking about the quick twitch, man. The guy is the guy can play safety in the NFL. Like, he's that kind of athlete. Hits the ball a ton, just can't make contact with it. Like 41% strikeout rate in September last year, Treasy. 41% K rate, 0% walk rate. That's all bad stuff. But maybe they fixed him. Who knows?
When you're doing a yoga pose for the first 15 seconds of your bat, you're not going to make contact.
Probably not.
So I want him to get rid of that part. If he gets rid of that, I'm in.
The comments want a prediction on home runs, Treasy. How many home runs for Romy Gonzalez? Sam Reeves says 47.
I want to say something ridiculous like that, but I will. If I'm in on the Romy boat, 15 home runs.
Okay.
Now
I think Sam was trying to say 4 or 7 home runs.
It could be. He doesn't know how to type, so it's okay.
35 hits though.
That's it, huh?
Home runs, 35.
This doesn't sound all in on him. I'm gonna be. You're really couching it. You were all in, now you're all out, right? You're like 6 seconds later.
I think 15 home runs is if that guy's gonna stay on the squad, he's got to be that good.
All right, whose responsibility was it to block Senior Sox from the comments? Was that you?
I just did.
Too much on your plate.
I just took care of it.
All right, let's get him out of here. Thank you.
I was just checking what's the alcohol content on these things. I don't know. I don't even know.
MSS is about to pass out. Well, you better get an ad read in first then. Here you go.
A lot of sulfites or sulfates or whatever the fuck. All right. Hey, it's February, and that can only mean one thing. In just 2 weeks, or it just passed. So if you fucked up and you didn't get something good, maybe it's time to get a better gift for your significant other. That's right, a Valentine's Day gift. Now, you can go the traditional route, which you might have, spending way too much money on flowers or heart-shaped boxes or candy, or you could have made a statement, buying an all-new Mazda. A real statement of your undying love was to buy your partner a new or used Mazda from Mazda of Orland Park. Red roses are so tired, they'd rather have an all-new Mazda CX-5 in that brilliant soul red that is only available from Mazda. The CX-5 comes standard with all the bells and whistles you can imagine, featuring all-wheel drive, 17-inch aluminum rims, and rain-sensing wipers. I mean, that's pretty amazing. All new cars feature 60-month, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty and a 36-month, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 24-hour roadside assistance. You won't get a deal like that from a chocolate box. So head on over to www.mazdaofOrlandPark.com and browse their online inventory. Right now, they have 122 new and Mazda certified used vehicles for sale. And while you are there, you can also request more information about specific vehicles, value your trade, or inquire about financing. Whether you're from the Chicagoland area, Northwest Indiana, or Southeast Wisconsin, they would love to have you visit and test drive a Mazda today. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom. Tonight's guest is a co-host of the all-new Mid Show, which is a variety talk show encompassing national stories in pop culture, sports, and the internet, hosted by Eddie and White Sox Dave. Chicago locals offer their comedic perspective on news for the common man. He is a regular on the dog walk, big conspiracy theory guy, huge Blackhawks and Notre Dame fan, avid rollerblader, and I'm pretty sure this guy sold me mushrooms at a Fish concert in 1997. Ladies and gentlemen, our friend, Barstool Chief. Yay.
Boys,
Welcome.
Quite
So
the
is that-
intro. I didn't know that you guys were cannibalism apologists on this show.
Only MSS.
Okay. Totally
I'm
fine.
anti-cannibal.
I'm more of a sympathizer
Me
of
too.
MSS
Me
than
too.
I am,
I want to go on the record. I'm an anti-cannibal.
Good.
Disingenuous.
You're on my
That's fine.
side
That's
for this
fine.
one. For this one.
So
We'll allow it.
So turning a guy into a sex zombie is okay, but eating his spleen, not okay.
That's
they're all bad. They're all
all bad.
equally horrible.
Okay. I was just making sure. I wasn't sure. I just threw my notes totally on this side. Chief, thanks for coming on the show, first off. And
I'm thrilled to be here.
we wanted to have you on because we've had Dave on several times. We need a distraction from White Sox baseball right now. It's a little heady. I don't know. You probably heard the news. You know, there's some bad things going on, some bad people, some other bad things, and somebody said some stuff, and then somebody made some Instagram comments, and it's just very interesting. So it's not done yet. This is probably one of the biggest like outside of baseball stories I've ever had to see and try to witness, and then becoming part of this White Sox fandom, crossing into having a podcast, having a blog, and all that stuff. It's just very odd. But anyway, thanks for coming on to distract everybody from all the shit that I just meandered about here for like the last 5 minutes. We tried to have Hannah on one time, and she totally just didn't even show up. We had Danny.
I heard about that.
No
Yeah.
Hannah.
Yep.
I
So
heard about that.
And Treasy and I were going to defend
It's a
her
bummer.
because both you and Danny were soft as baby shit about the stuff with her boyfriend's friend who was treating her like shit. And Treasy and I just said in our group of friends, we would ice the girl out. We would ice our friend out if they were acting like that. And that's a known fact. We've done that, and we've had the same group of friends for 30 years. You don't act right, you'll be iced out, and you'll figure out on your own why you don't get invited to stuff anymore. You can't allow that kind of behavior. Like, the boyfriend doesn't have to take...
You're taking the girlfriend's side.
At that point, yes. After that length of relationship, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
have to.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but not now. Now that
now we
that
hate her because she didn't
now
come
that
out.
she missed the show, we want this. We want it to happen for them. In fact,
Yeah, they should fight.
I bought the other girl and her boyfriend a Valentine's dinner. I sent them a
The other one. That's not good. Chief, we haven't seen you since we last did Red Line Radio, which is no longer like a thing. It's the
Kinda.
mid show now. Well, kind of, right?
Yeah, you're kind of still doing it.
So
I mean, the last time we saw you, you were looking like
That's
this.
it.
You and Treasy were back to back here. I don't know
Way to
what's
step
your
on it.
caboose won. It looks like in this
That's
competition.
the absolute quit.
Why does Dave not let you into the studio when we come in to record with you guys?
I mean, it's like a circle of trust, and I like to needle him about the White Sox, obviously, and I think that there are times where he just wants it to be all positive vibes, and he feels he can't get that with us in the room. So I feel like you guys come in for your White Sox summit meeting once a year, and then we just watch through the glass and hope it goes well.
Until you get called in to show off your ample ass in front of us as we're drowning like a bottle of Jack Daniels.
cheers.
Thank you,
Yumper.
little
Cheers.
Yumper. Appreciate
Thank you very much.
I got
What are you
sparkling
drinking,
water.
Chief? Sparkling water.
This
That's
is
okay.
This is the Whole Foods sparkling water.
It's kind of fancy. Do you put your pinky out when you drink that, or no?
No, it's actually the cheapest sparkling water
At Whole Foods, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like saying, "Hey, I got this for 50% off at Kohl's," but like everything is 50% off.
$4.50 for 12. That's pretty.
No, it's not bad. That's not bad. It's also very fancy, but so we're all big fans of you guys. Obviously, love the dog walk, and that's kind of like. I'll send you a message every once in a while and be like, "Hey, I really like this," or we'll talk about things that were brought up on the show. You guys,
I always really appreciate that. It makes me feel good, genuinely.
Well, good, and I'm being serious because when you have a stinker, like I'm not going to text you. Like
I haven't heard from you in months.
Exactly.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Like
lining it up. Goodness.
The weather balloon thing, I was like, oh, dude, this is way too much information for me. Like, I can't handle this. I need talking about like, hey, these girls I used to date in college, or hey, I used to do this, like this stuff that reminds me of how young I used to be. See,
I can't get enough of Aliens. I watch more Ancient Aliens than I watch kind of any other show, I think.
That was because they run the marathons on Fridays. So like when COVID was here and we were like, never going in, I'm like, I got my Friday planned. Let's just sit here all day, watch Ancient Aliens, and have a great time.
So you got now Redline's still kind of around, but the mid show. The mid show is the new thing. So can you explain what's the deal with the mid show? Like, what are we going to look forward to other than like what I said in the intro, which is directly ripped from the Apple Podcasts description of the show. Like what can we look forward to?
I was going to compliment you on that because I was like, historically, we've always like, how do we even describe this show? And sometimes it was Redline and it was like the simplest thing ever to describe it. We'd have like a million drafts and try different things. And I don't know who wrote that, but if I thought you did it, and I was like, we stole that?
Take credit, MSS. Take credit for this shit right now.
I think I changed.
Let's sue them.
But not like no. I changed maybe a couple things, but not really. I left out some stuff, but yeah. So what are you excited about it?
I think we're gonna have a lot more fun than we were having. Redline, it kind of you get boxed in a little bit. You feel like you have to check a box of talking about every team, and sometimes a year it's just like, what are we talking about with the Bears? Like a backup right guard. Like that's kind of boring. And then, we're all kind of, at least at times, the baseball boys would have a little bit more of a back and forth, but like, I'm the hockey guy and they're just not. So it's hard to have a conversation about hockey that's compelling when I'll just be talking into a vacuum, so it just, we're still going to do it, but we're going to be more selective about the Chicago sports topics we talk about. It's going to be more of a segment inside of the mid show, which the mid show I'm hoping is going to be a lot like we had a Sirius XM show back for a couple of years during that COVID. We really enjoyed doing that. It was fun. It was more national. And we kind of want to, the thing that we have the most success with, or it's the most popular, is the snake drafts on Monday. And we kind of want to take that type of banter and come up with ways to include it in our other content. And it was kind of lacking in Redline.
Nice. It's funny that you brought up Sirius because I love that show. Now, what I remember most about the Sirius shows, though, and you know what I'm going to say because you're smiling already.
I don't.
Is the huge blow up from Carl to you where he's just screaming at you for like 30 minutes. And like, you or what was it like 15 minutes or whatever?
I mean,
right?
It might have been 30. Could have been 30.
It was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for me at the gym listening to it. And when Eddie kept promoting it and he was like, man, we want to get back to the Sirius radio days. I'm thinking, man, I don't think Chief wants to get back to those days where he's getting screamed at by a lunatic Cubs fan. Like, I just don't know if he wants
I remember one blow up, but I thought that was on Redline and not Sirius. So, we were like talking about Theo and he freaked out, but I didn't. I'm trying to remember if that was Sirius.
I think it was Sirius.
I don't remember a blow up on Sirius. I'm pretty sure that other thing was Redline. So
maybe it came out.
Eventually,
maybe
it happened off your back.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we got to it. You repressed the memory.
Maybe.
And now
that's how harsh it was.
And now you're not even prepared for what's coming next.
It's going to come flying out in about 3 months, and he's going to start bawling on air. It's going to be the best mid show they've ever done. Like the live natural crying. Like I saw the first 10. I'm like, I'm going to watch this mid show. I'm at work. I'm like, I have it on. It's really fucking loud. Now I have an office, but I had the door open. I'm like, fuck, someone's going to walk by. They're doing this shit. And then I'm like, what, they're bringing this midget guy in that I never heard of, this Jeff Nadeau guy, and they're trying to make Jerry Springer. I'm like, White Sox team will kick this guy's ass. What's this guy? This guy ain't no tough guy. Come on now.
Yeah, no, and like Jeff Nadeau's been in a Rough and Rowdy before. And I like Jeff Nadeau. So
I like his crime stuff. So he does the mafia shit, right?
Yeah,
he's good. Yeah, he's good at that.
He does a good job with it. But he had a Rough and Rowdy fight, and it was the worst fight I have ever seen in my entire life. So, like, he should not be, saying he's a tough guy or anything like that, because we've seen it. We've run the experiment. You can't throw a right. It was like they're pushing each other's faces. It was terrible.
Oh man, I gotta look that up now. I'm gonna go look on YouTube and see if I can find that. So, but Chief, is he Amish tough?
Yeah. Man, it's just he can drag a horse plow, but can't really throw a punch.
So, Chief, with the new show, with the mid, and then you've got the dog walk, and free swim on Wednesdays is similar, right? Like, how is that going to blend? Is that going to move into the mid, or is that going to stay separate? Like, how are you guys going to navigate that?
I think there's going to be a little change in content. The free swims won't be as frequent. If he does have a free swim, it might be with Zoom guys in New York, and there's a couple different things, but not exactly sure what those Wednesdays will be like going forward, but they'll probably be a little bit different.
Well, that's interesting, because I love the free swims. Those are fun. Like, you guys get into some stuff on those where it's I don't know. This reminds me of like conversations that we have that are offline, and you're just kind of bullshitting about stuff, and you're learning about each other, which is awesome. Like, you're like, hey, you talk about something, and you're like, oh, I didn't know you did that. And plus, Danny is fucking hilarious.
He really is.
Love Danny, and love Danny put things in, like when you were talking about having your health crisis, and he goes, you said you were a big fat piece of shit. Your words, not mine. And it was just like those are good drops. Now,
yeah. Oh, he's the king of that. He's the king of that.
His mustache is horrible, right? It's a horrible mustache.
Actually, I think it's not that bad.
Well, that's because you have horrible facial hair too. But we're gonna build you up later. So
MSS is right. Danny's got a girlfriend. He's holding on for dear life with that mustache. I kid you not. Because if he's back out in the wild, he's finished. Like he's got to get rid of that thing. There's no question about it.
We'll see. I feel like he would do just fine if you were back out in the wild.
Oh man, I think you would too. He's got a very good attitude. I mean, and that's something that's very important when you're out there talking with the people. But yeah, no, he's been on the show. Came on. That's the one where Hannah ditched us. Has there been? One more question about Redline, then we're gonna move on to something else. Has there been anybody drunker than me on a Redline radio? Like, I drank almost an entire bottle of a Jack Daniels, and I pissed 3 times on the way home.
We pulled over on Halstead, Chief. I had to pull over to a restaurant where it's the middle of the day. It's 2:30 in the afternoon after we left your studios. He's like, I need to piss right now. Treasy's looking at me like, we got to pull over and let him piss. He had to run into a restaurant and go pee. We had to fucking wait for this guy, like on Halstead.
We're sitting in the car. I turned to Beef. I'm like, he's taking his dad to see Clapton tonight.
He's shit
5 hours from the show happening. I'm like, his dad, his dad's a great guy. But he is not big enough to carry this fuck anymore. No. I was really worried that it was going to be a situation where it's like I get a call at 2 a.m. and like I'm trying to get him out of the United Center.
Have a wheelbarrow?
Could you
have a
wheelbarrow
at home? Yeah.
You guys come drag him out.
At that point, it's lime and shovels, Treasy. That's the call we're getting. Like, he didn't make it. We got to bury his ass.
He wanted to go to Smart Bar, and now here's where we are.
That's it. He's finished.
And I did make it to Clapton, did not fall down, did not do anything ridiculous, and actually snuck bourbon into Eric Clapton and drank that at the Clapton concert. So
you needed more.
It was a day. It was a day, and I was stayed up there. But has there been anybody drunker?
Guaranteed, someone's been more drunk than you.
Oh, damn it!
And his name, Barstool Carl. Chief, one last thing about the not saying to say it. One last thing about the mid show and the pivot off of sports. Are you guys leaving yourselves open to pivot back towards sports aggressively? Because if the Bears are really fucking good, I would listen to you guys to get my Bears stuff. Eddie gets deep on that shit, and I want to hear it. And like, there's a lot of us out here that like comedy, but also we want to hear about our teams and we want to hear in depth. I'm gonna fluff your tires a little bit. But your interview with Stan Bowman is the best GM interview I've ever fucking heard. I know nothing about hockey, but I was like, oh, this is fucking tremendous. I'm like, he's asking real questions here, and it's not the usual frou-frou bullshit that like you went in there like, I'll never get this interview again, so fuck it, I'm going for it. And I loved it. I thought it was great. Like, you're really putting this guy to a question, and no one does it. So are you guys giving yourself the room to get back into sports, as the teams get better or more compelling or interesting?
Yeah, definitely. So and I feel like maybe we didn't explain this well enough. But on Thursdays, we're going to go for at least 90 minutes. And it's kind of like Red Line is going to get folded into the Thursday episode of the mid show. So we're still going to, if there's something pertinent, like if Patrick Kane gets traded next week, I'm going to be talking about it, Okay. When the Bears are going to be, I think the Bears are going to be good this year. So we're going to have a place to talk about that. And, White Sox, all the Cubs, all that kind of stuff, we'll always do that. It'll just be this. We're just giving more content on top of what we were doing with Redline before. And we're going to have a little bit more fun and be more creative with the pop culture. Like, I don't know. And there's some of the organic content, like having to do just getting a foot race with White Sox Dave on the spot yesterday. I thought that was like really fun and like organic and good. So we're going to leave room for stuff like that to happen. But we're sports guys, so we're always going to be talking sports too.
I liked in the TikTok video when you guys were learning how to do TikTok. Danny says, this guy is just here to write blogs about the Blackhawks. And now he's got to be on TikTok and be a personality. And that's something that's different. Like, now, how do you feel about having to be a personality? Like, is that something that you're embracing, or you're like, man, I just really want to watch, talk about slap shots?
Yeah. It's not like a natural thing for me, to be honest. Like, I don't really love being on camera. I didn't really ever set out to do this, and it was just like a great opportunity. And I was doing it for free for a long time, mostly just because I liked it. So I think that there are some super talented people at the company who can execute a little bit of a character. I really can't. I think it's kind of what you see is what you get, because if I try to do something more, it's going to come off disingenuous. So I just try to be myself and hope it works.
It is working. You're a content creator, and there's
nice. That's nice. Up yet. All right, you wait. Save pumping them up.
What I'm saying is, and we've talked about this too, and it's like, listen, if you can sit here and have a conversation that's interesting to people, in front of people, and that people tune in to watch, that's amazing. Like, we have it on a small scale, you have it on a bigger scale, and it's like people are looking for that, so that is definitely a skill. Not everyone can do that. So
yeah, no, I hope we do a good job of that. And it's just, I like learning new stuff. So when we have a place to do that on that Tuesday show, where it's you can just kind of learn and research and then try to extrapolate just out the important, interesting details out of some longer thing and boil it down and explain it in a way that's relatable. I think that's I don't know. I really enjoy the job that I have, and I feel lucky to have it, but it's not second nature to me, I guess, is my answer.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get down to some really dirty talk right now. We're going to talk about some White Sox Dave talk. Now, the times that we've hung out with you has mostly been with White Sox Dave, a lot of times at Sox Park. You usually have to leave early because you have I got to catch a flight at 8:00 tomorrow morning. You never come down when you have a Saturday to burn. You got to get out quick. I get it. we're a lot, especially when Wally Money's hanging out with us and he's trying to funnel you like his elixir. He's like, get to the accelerator, drink some of this stuff. And you're like, come on. I get it. But we were at Cork one night, no free ads. Oh, there went our boy. Oh, he just went out. Okay, he's stepped down. Yeah. So we were at Cork, and Dave has been inside. Me and you were talking, and like he was gone for a while, and you're like, hold on, I gotta leave because I gotta go check on Dave because Dave gets in trouble. And did you know that somebody tried to bite off his nose one time? And I was like, I was so endeared to you, and I did know that somebody tried to bite his nose off, but I also was like, this is great. So you have a soft spot for Dave, huh?
Yeah, I love Dave. I think Dave's he's a good guy. He's a character. Like sometimes he drives you nuts, but I think at his core he's a really good guy, and he's a fun guy. Like he's a fun guy to be out with. Yeah, so he's a good friend. I'm glad he's on the team.
Yeah. Now you guys gonna you got to come to more Sox games this year, I think. Come with Dave.
I get to like probably 3 a year. So what should my goal be for this year?
16.
16 is a lot of fucking
16.
White Sox games. I'm a 7-minute walk from Wrigley, and I think I went to 5 Cubs games last year.
Yeah, well, they suck. I mean, that's not fun. You can just go over there and just drink and party. Like, just come to a Sox game and drink and party, it costs a lot more, but whatever. Same deal. But no, we all love Dave. We're good friends with Dave. Dave is fun. He's not an act. And I think that's something that we have to explain to people. Like, that's just who Dave is. And I think that's something that your new show is definitely going to show too. Like, showcase Dave on who he is. And I like him getting his props and getting out there and, being out in Arizona, like that was a fun video. Like that's just who he is, and it's very interesting. But,
and I've said this to him too, because like obviously a lot's going to change this year with Big Cat coming back and the new office and more people, and I think it's going to really benefit Dave. And there is just some kind of inherent physical comedy about him that I can't explain. Like we were talking about, the 999 challenge, okay, which is a funny concept, right? And that video came out great, and he was like really funny in it. I could do everything the exact same. It wouldn't be as funny as Dave's. Like there's just something like it's not even a tangible thing. You can't explain it, but you just see that guy's fucking melon, and there's just something funny about him.
And he's always really excited when you see him out there too. Like, yeah, like we were at that Miller Lite tailgate, and he's like on top of the RV screaming, and like no one's responding. And you're just like, this is horrible for him, but it's also really funny because he's like, everyone knows this. I'm gonna pound my chest, for the camera, and everyone else is like, we don't know what you're doing. We're not really sure,
Yeah. Well, he trusts his gut, that's for sure. Like when he thinks something, it's full speed ahead.
Hell yes, he does not. Thought. He does not stop and think. Trees, you're muted. I don't know if you're back on. Not back yet. He was gonna.
Yeah, he was muted. We couldn't hear him at all, right? You couldn't hear him either.
Nope.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Just making sure.
Loaf, what's your favorite part about White Sox, Dave? Besides his ass.
Oh man, you know what? My favorite part is anytime he and I could just riff for an hour about the White Sox. I went up and visited these guys at their office. I had a company outing, so we had a 2-day company outing. In the morning, I had to give a presentation in front of everybody, which is ridiculous because I'm back office. But I absolutely fucking murdered it. People were yelling for me afterwards how good the performance was. I go up and meet these guys, and Dave and I are just sitting in their studio riffing about all the shit we wish the White Sox would do, trade deadline, this guy stinks, oh man, we got no options, whatever. You could just sit down at any point, talk for a goddamn hour about the Sox and go in absolutely any direction. I remember he did that one time. He came to a game, this was like shortly after the pandemic, so it was like the 2021 season. He's like, Beef, I'm just going to sit next to you for this game. And we just fucking riffed the entire game about Sox stuff. So like, easy to talk to about a lot of different topics, particularly our favorite one, the White Sox.
Well, it's the only thing he loves. It's the only thing he loves.
That's why it hurts him so bad.
No joy. It brings him zero joy. But it's the only thing he loves. And he is like, his memory for baseball stuff is bananas. Like He'll remember some kid who was the 15th round pick in 2007 in the Cincinnati Reds, and he played second base for Des Plaines High School. It's like, what? How the fuck? Like, it's like, yeah, now he's in logistics. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you know all every player for the last 20 years, whether they made it or not? It's really like, it's crazy.
And that's something that Treasy, try to talk.
You can hear me now, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're back in, baby.
Just like that commercial. You know,
have to restart everything, you know?
Dave is just like so
wonderful.
He gets pigeonholed a lot there. He's not smart about stuff, or he's some, you know, like Neanderthal type man. And
on that point, Chief, what's the hardest thing about working with him day to day? Like, there's a lot of, I think there's, like, we've done a lot of content with White Sox, Dave, and I think almost all of it's good. Now, it's mostly White Sox focused. He's real sharp with that, but also he knows how to have fun with us. We had a draft on here, most fuckable cartoon characters, because of the Nala thing. And, like, we did an hour of us picking the cartoon characters we want to fuck. Like, he can go in all different directions. What's frustrating, though, about working with him? Everyone gets frustrated with who they work with. I get frustrated as fuck with My Sox Summer and Treasy plenty of times about different things. What frustrates you about Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just some. He's not that hard to work with. So I think sometimes I think he could be a little bit bullheaded, but like he is, and like you just have to argue and explain. And then, but he is a guy who, like, if he like understands what you're saying, and he'll be like, oh yeah, all right. You know, like but it might take you a while to like get him there sometimes. But he's not a guy who will, like, you know, there are some people who, like, they know they're wrong and they're just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not losing the argument.
Yeah, they'll stick with it forever. Yeah.
Right. Those people are the worst. Yeah. But if you, like, Dave will be like, oh, wait. And then he'll, like, you know, there will be a compromise matter. He'll see it and will, you know, but he won't just. He doesn't dig his heels in for the sake of digging his heels in, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I think I was completely muted. If you guys did talk, and I couldn't hear shit too. So if you guys did talk about Tinfoil Tuesday, I'm sorry, but I'm going to come back in and talk.
No, we did not. Let's do it. Bring it back.
So Chief, I love that show. That's something that I tune into every week, and I have a question for you, or a couple questions on this for you. But one, like, obviously you're going to go into, and for those of you in the comments stuff that aren't familiar, it's Tuesday on the Dog Walk. They go through some conspiracy theories or some kind of out there theories on different things. And my question to you, though, is, of the ones that you've talked about, you know, you're very even-handed about a lot of these. Is there one that you like truly believe, where you're like, I think think, you know, something that is plausible, like the Titanic one, maybe it's like one where you can kind of go like, yeah, that might be the case. Like, is there one that stands out to you as like, I believe this theory?
Well, I mean, it's the biggest one ever, but I do believe that the CIA killed the president. They killed JFK. Like I am like very convinced of that. I've been obsessed with the Kennedys for 20 years. Like there's like a story back with my grandparents where my great grandfather was like Honey Fitz's plumber. So like they were both from Boston. Those families were from Boston. Like my nana, my mom's side had 9 kids, like just like the Kennedy, like Rose Kennedy had 9 kids. It's like the Kennedys have been ingrained in me since I was a kid. And so that's just a subject I've always like been fascinated by, because it never made sense. And it's like, why isn't this like talked about every single day? I'm going to talk about it every single day. And so I definitely believe that one. I think there's something up with, let's say like the global banking elites, like central banks and Federal Reserve. There's definitely some, like the Rothschilds, like that there's something going on there too.
Like the creation of the
Jekyll Island.
Yeah. Exactly. That is some insanity. So yeah, I actually on both of those, I'm very intrigued. I've always loved the JFK movie. Now that's a little wild. And I mean, it's Oliver Stone, right? I mean, it's like the same guy that directed Natural Born Killers. So
did you watch the documentary that he did just this past year?
I didn't. I have watched the documentary that Oliver Stone did, which was like the history of the United States from like I think it's from like World War II forward.
Yep.
That is incredibly good. And that is something where like they talk about a lot of subjects that like you don't ever hear about. Like there was people in there that he talked about where I was like, I never heard of this guy. And he was he was supposed to be like a vice president. Like he was like this close to being a vice president. Never heard of the guy. You know? And like so I like stuff like that. I mean, like I was in Russia a few years ago, and it was like going on a tour there was like there's different history books in this country. Like it was just like they're like showing us stuff, and I'm like, well, that is not how we hear about it. That's very different. So
why don't you shut up? We kicked your ass. All right.
Seems like a comment you might keep to yourself, Teresa, while you're on the tour. You just keep it in, but you know you're thinking it. You know.
But it was even stuff like where it like parallels with the United States, where the United States will talk about somebody and you'll be like, was that a good guy? And like we were on a tour and they're like, yeah, this is Peter the Peacemaker. And I was like, okay, what did this guy do? And they're like, he conquered 4 countries in 3 years that he was the czar. And I'm like,
until there was
very peaceful.
He murdered everyone until there was peace. Yeah.
But you know, on that kind of topic of like, you know, very heinous crimes like that and things, has there been a conspiracy that you're like, let's do this one for the show? You start researching it and you're just like, this is too much. Like this is just this is too out there.
Yeah, in like 2019, we did an episode on flat Earth, like, and it's just like you read some of the things that they say, and it's just like, man, like you have like you're like absurd, like you're an absurd person. And then there's another one that I just think is super fun, which is that Finland doesn't even exist. It's just a body of water, and it's like a haven, and it's like no one's ever actually been there. No one's from there. And there's something with like the cell phone company Nokia was involved. We did that one in 2019. So like, yeah, it's like Finland does not exist. So
there's that whole birds aren't real thing too, right? Like, I mean, like
yeah. I mean, that's like just a social media account. Like it's kind of funny. But yeah, they're all CIA robots or something like that.
Wait a minute, birds aren't real? Is it because they're all dinosaurs, or are all dinosaurs birds? Which one is that thing?
They're basically like they're machines.
I believe that's another thing. I believe. I also believe that Atlantis or something like that was probably a real thing as well.
Okay, so I'm with you on the Atlantis thing, and I've seen some of the same things that you've blogged about, and then like or read your blog or watched the thing you're doing, and like dug deeper in it, and it's just like, how are we not trying to find that? Like, you're like, it seems like people are trying to find the goofiest bullshit, right? Like, like there's like 40 reality shows about finding treasure, and there's not one about like going to find Atlantis. It's a weird thing. It seems provable.
Did not enough people grow up on Indiana Jones? Like that. Those movies, like
he's coming back.
Never seen it.
I know.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, never seen one. No.
Oh,
how's that? Summer did not grow up on them either.
I did not. I don't think they were approved by.
I need to tear your heart out with my hand to show you how good they are.
You know what else I was going to try to say like before is I've never listened to a book like on audio either. Like I've never listened to
not a single audio. So that whole
not
upfront conversation was just over your head. You don't know people read books or nothing.
I mean, no, I know that it goes on. I just have never done it. I think that audiobooks are a conspiracy theory too.
Okay.
I'm a big.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't believe in conspiracy theories because everybody talks. I mean, that's like my biggest thing. Like, you know, like the 9/11 stuff. Like everyone's like, oh, you know, all this shit happened. I was like, bro, like people talk as soon as they're given an opportunity. Like
that's why you hate Pete Carroll, isn't it? Because Pete Carroll, he thinks it's a conspiracy.
I hate him just because he's a piece of shit. But he ran the score up in Illinois in the Rose Bowl.
So right bless you. Appreciate that drink.
Big piece of shit that guy is. But no, but like literally, like people. learned anything from Goodfellas. Like, no one follows directions. No one like does what they're supposed to do. They, as soon as they're giving them like an inch, they take a mile. You know, that's just how it is. You know, the SEAL team.
Well, they say in The Irishman. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but all those guys who were a little bit mouthy got killed. We're talking about the CIA.
But they talked.
That's what they say in The Irishman too. Three people can keep a secret if two of them are dead.
Yeah,
they kept it a secret for 60 years that Oswald was a CIA asset. That just came out like a month ago. They kept that secret for 60 years.
Man, you really are in deep on the Kennedys, aren't you?
Deep,
my Lord,
deep. Just
I mean, we had the Camelot book at my grandma's house. I don't know if I ever looked at it because I was too interested in my grandfather yelling at the TV while we were watching the Bears game. But yeah. So you also participate in something that is very near and dear to all of us 108ers, and that's 108 weight loss. Shockingly, today you did not submit a weight. You have not submitted a weight.
It's like an 8-week streak. Like
I submitted it late. I was busy in the morning. I got there as soon as I could.
About 10:45 today, he submits away. But no, so you've been participating. You're last. I'm second to last. I'm last year's champion, so I feel like I've lost.
You were juicing, but
that I need. Yeah, no, I was juicing.
You were juicing last year.
I'm like glad.
You were on drugs, bro. You admitted it. You admitted to being on drugs.
What?
Prescription drugs. He admitted it, Tracy. He admitted it. He admitted it.
He did.
He asked if it was okay with us. We said yes. But I can bring it up that you were juicing. I mean, this is full disclosure. You know, that's why you beat me.
Okay, so how did I lose 10 pounds this year that I'm not juicing?
Cocaine.
Well, yeah. Enemas, maybe, possibly.
High colonic.
Let me double back on one thing on tinfoil before you go off on the 108 weight loss.
I'm sorry, my transition not good enough for you?
Mrs. Beef. I just had one tinfoil question.
MSS.
I said one tinfoil question I wanted to get in there. My wife and I both love the show, so she put it in the comments, said, love me some Tinfoil Tuesday. It's the one show we compare notes on, like of any podcast. We listen to a lot of different stuff, but it's the one we'll always talk about, like we get together on. That being said, and I'll say this with all due respect, how does it feel working on a show with Barstool Eddie, who I love, who knows absolutely nothing about the world? It is amazing the shit you have to teach him that is rudimentary shit we learned in 5th fucking grade, and I'm like, how the hell does Barstool Eddie not know this right here? This is like easy shit everyone learned. How does that feel?
It is crazy to me because he is like a curious, thoughtful person by nature.
Yes.
You would think that being like having that sort of disposition would lead you naturally to some of this subject matter. It just didn't for whatever reason.
Right over his head. It's like,
yeah. So I actually kind of
you mentioned Pompeii to him, and he's like, "What's that?" And I'm like,
"Yeah,
is this serious or is this a bit?" Like, I don't know if this is mid-show fodder that you guys are working on before, or what the fuck. I was like, "Holy shit! How does he not know that? Like, everyone knows that. Like,
how do you not know that?" God. But that's like kind of the beauty of Eddie too, where it's like I'll say something that I think is like somewhat common, and then his reaction is just like. Like his mind is blown, and it's so genuine. But you can tell that he's like excited that he learned it too, which is it just makes it kind of I don't know. It's fun. For me, it's fun.
He definitely has a thirst for knowledge.
Yeah. It has a comedic element to me. Like listening to it, like I love that he doesn't know it because it's kind of funny. Like you're watching a grown man, experience some shit that, like he's just learning it. He's like, it's like, and he now. Full disclosure, he knows tons of stuff I don't know. He'll know shit down a rabbit hole. I'm like, whoa, I know nothing about that. But there's usually like things that you like learned in the history book when you're like 6th grade. It's like,
I mean, like
everyone knows that.
Like, see that Pompeii in like a National Geographic waiting at the doctor's office. Like you just flip it, like you just absorb
right there
like that naturally. But you just didn't.
It's like Eddie grew up on another planet. He did. Edison Park is like another planet, right? Or Hiawatha Park or whatever he grew up with. That's right. Yeah, it's another planet.
Sometimes like you would learn something like thumbing through a National Geographic looking for some like titties from some women. You know that like it's like you never knew.
It always comes back to this MSS. It always comes back.
Your buddy would be like, "Yo, go look at page 88," and you're like, "Why? I don't want to read National." Oh, okay. But then they were not nice. They weren't good.
Yeah.
You know, they're just not the best. But anyway, so 108 weight loss, your health crisis. You're just really not doing much. What's going on? Why not?
I don't know. It might be a health crisis for real. Then I think everybody in the internet would feel really bad if I had a thyroid issue or something. So we're holding out hope for that. But I think my actual weight, I weighed myself this morning, was 231. So I don't know what my original first weigh-in was, but
it was like 241.
Yeah, so
something. Yeah, you're in the
so now you're moving.
So I think I don't
a little bit.
No, I think
despite all the 3 you're moving. That's good.
Yeah. That could be a problem with this too. But that was I feel like I gave you a weight and then I weighed myself like 2 weeks later and I was like, I think I was like 244. So that was like
you did.
Yeah. So within this contest, it's been a little bit of this, and I am trying though. Like I had like chicken and vegetables like for 7 nights in a row. I'm doing the Peloton. I'm doing other stuff. Just old. It's not coming off like it used to.
You're not old. First off, you're not old. Second, you're the thing that as the champion from last year, the thing that you need to do is just starve yourself. It needs to hurt. If it hurts when you go to sleep, that means you're doing it right. Okay, like
MSS is right. If you absolutely hate yourself, you're on the right path. That's a good call.
If you're like,
that's what the champion. Like, he's a champion. He knows what's going on.
This is not even worth it anymore. I just want a fucking Ritz cracker. You're on the right path. Like when you eat finally, like the next day, maybe at like 12:30, after you've had black coffee for the whole morning. You're like, oh my God, this is the most delicious. And you're like, what am I eating? And you're like, processed American cheese. This is so great, like, because that is where you've actually hit it and like in the zone. Now I'm going to offer this up for you. I think this would be good for the new show. I need you to come to the gym with me, and I'm going to put you through the My Sack summer workout plan. And just see how you do. Just have some fun with it.
You know what? To be honest, this younger man is going to kick your ass.
I don't hate that idea.
I do want to say I was listening to the show the other day, and Chief had said that it would cost $1 million for him to live a prison life. So I think you got to come up with some money if you want to take him to where are you going to take him again?
Well, yeah, exactly. Make it clear.
My gym's
you taking him to the yard. Is that what you said?
My gym's on 35th and King. So yeah, it's questionable, but it's a nice gym. I mean, it's right by Sox Park. So we live all right by Sox Park too.
Yeah, we live close to that.
But yeah, you should come through. Like I want to get like some of the other, like I take Loaf there once, just to watch his arms fall off when we start doing some lifting. Good. But he doesn't want to do
so that's also part of the problem is that when I stopped playing sports, 12 years ago, I said to myself, I'm never lifting weights again.
Bless you for that.
Like if I don't have to score goals anymore, if I can pick up a box or a chair, like that's good enough.
That's enough.
So, yeah.
So you're like, okay. So if I take you out and I give you like the medicine ball and I make you slam the ball into the ground and then like do the ropes, is that lifting weights or is that fun?
You could trick me into doing that. Just like if someone tells me to get in a squat rack, they better have like an AK-47.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that shit. I have like very minimal stuff. As Loaf will tell you, I have no definition on my arms. So yeah,
that's true.
It's not really, but I feel good.
Can't pull fat, so that's fine.
So that's good. So now you said something, and we talked about this as a group. You said something in one of the dog walks. You're like, I have no hobbies. I have no outside interests. I don't go places. I don't want to do this and all that. And it really hit me in the heart. Like I was like, this guy is missing the best part of his life right now. 36, right? Is he 36? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 36 is like 26. Like you kind of hit like this lull, right? You're like, oh God, I'm 26. Mm-hmm. Like all the fun stuff is happening. You had 18, you had 21, and now you hit 26, and then you're like, oh shit, my ass is getting a little bigger. I'm keeping weight on a little more. But like when you hit 36 is when you start turning it around, okay? Because you're not like, I'm not trying to be attractive to an 18-year-old anymore. I'm trying to be attracted to like, attractive to like a 30-year-old, a 31,
a woman,
maybe a 40, maybe 41. Who knows? Like it's a whole different world nowadays. Like the girls are keeping themselves in shape. Women are keeping themselves in shape. You can go out and you can get all sorts of different types of things, okay? Mm-hmm. And listen, as a guy who one time told himself, you should just throw out everything that you think that you need and just date whoever that you come across. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that. You have it right. What you're looking for is probably right, but you need to like just go and just be chief, be free, and have fun. You're not going to meet a girl in your house watching hockey. Okay, it's not going to happen. Okay, you need to go out. Now, here's one thing. I know this other guy. He's looking for women too. You guys should probably like get together and like go out and go together. Now, this is the key thing. This is the key thing. His name's Shane Reardon. Okay, he's not very good looking. Okay. He's not good looking. So you're better looking.
He's mysterious. He's mysterious.
He is very serious. So, and you're more fun. So like, he's a perfect wingman because if a girl's into him, she's probably not into you. You know what I mean? So like I see what you're saying.
You're not crossing streams. Yeah.
You're not
right.
crossing
streams.
Yeah.
Like, unless she has a twin.
Right.
You said the magic word, Teresi.
I mean, but usually the twins have, and Chief, you can elaborate on this if you want, but like, like the twins usually have different personalities, right? They're not the same personality.
Yeah.
They look the same, but they're not the same person.
Sometimes
as a guy that's dated like what, 3 sets of twins or 2 sets of twins? 4 sets of twins. One girl.
I mean, over like 10 years. Yeah.
Over 10 years. Like, listen, I've never dated a twin in my life. I don't think
I don't know how that happens. It's like, I can't explain it. It's it is a very odd thing.
Do you like go on?
It's a statistical anomaly.
You're the guy who always gets Yahtzee. When you're playing the game Yahtzee, it's like, how does that motherfucker always get the Yahtzee and I never get the Yahtzee? You get the Yahtzee every time when you're playing. Is basically what this is.
No, it's kind of weird, I feel like. But
that's what I mean. It's a rare occurrence. It's something like, no one gets that shit. Oh, you're getting it every single game kind of thing.
But the way you're saying it makes it sound like I'm seeking it out, which I am.
No, it's random, right? It's when you're playing Yahtzee, you're rolling dice. It's a totally random game. It's rare to get the thing. You're getting the rare thing randomly. Like
very, very, very rare. And odds are it'll never happen again. So
you don't know that. You probably said that the second time you dated a twin. You're probably like, I don't think that was gonna happen. You're like, it's definitely not happening.
And you don't
then
find
it happened
out
a third time
until like your second or third date sometimes. So when you start getting the details of the second or third time you've met. So it's like you're
saying there could be more. You just don't even know. It could be like 10.
Oh no, you know what? Because if I have one date, I'm having 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. Damn. I mean, that's good.
See, there's that confidence. I like it.
See,
no, I'm just always been more of like a relationship person.
Right.
Yeah.
But you need, like you said on a recent dog walk, you're like, when I was, or I think it was the mid show. I don't remember. Anyway, you were like, I would go out to a movie by myself when I was traveling for business. I would go out there. And I think that's something, I don't know if you know, but I used to live out west. I lived in Huntington Beach, California for 7 years, and then Phoenix for 3 years before that. And when I was in Huntington, I didn't really know anybody. And a lot of people that I knew were like in service industry. So they worked on the weekends. So I would go out by myself constantly. Now, you like watching hockey? Go to a hockey bar. There's got to be some chick there at a hockey bar and a girl that's there.
I don't have a hard time meeting. I don't know what's going on. This podcast took a turn, but
we're pumping you up.
Yeah, no, but I never have a problem like meeting them.
Right.
It's just like I don't know. I'm not.
You just don't want to, or what? Don't you want a friend
all the time?
I'm gonna quote American Pie, and it's really fun hitting that tennis ball against the wall. But don't you want a partner sometimes?
I mean, I go. I don't know. I go out. I was out on Tuesday.
MSS is over here like Tommy's mom in Goodfellas, trying to like, why don't you settle down?
I settle down almost every night.
Well, I'm always settled.
Well, okay, then you know what? This is all misplaced. I'm sorry. I was like, I just when I heard that, I felt very sad, and I was like, I think that our guy is a little sad right now, and I want to make him feel better.
No, I feel good.
Are you sad right now?
No, actually,
no. Are you regretting? Are you regretting coming on this podcast now?
No.
No. Good.
No,
not yet.
I'm regretting letting you host.
I'm regretting this one right here. I'll tell you that. This is not good. The Mad Dog 2020 Blue Raspberry would not recommend. No, I would definitely stick with the Electric Melon. So, hey, I got nothing else. You guys have anything else you want to go ask Chief here before we get into something new?
Well, we got another segment after this,
Yeah.
but you know what, I think right now I should probably pay some bills, huh?
All right.
Yes, you should.
There we go.
I am very excited to announce a new sponsor and one of my favorite places on the South Side, Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp. I've been going to Lawrence's forever. In fact, I was recording in Pilsen a few years back, and per usual, I could not get my track right. Just kept messing up everything. After a bunch of takes, I was like, F it. I'm going to Lawrence's. And my bandmates were like, well, what are you talking about, Lawrence's? So I had to introduce them to the delicious food at Lawrence's. We went over there. They loved it. I came back after eating about, 47, 48 shrimp, and I nailed the track one take. So it is not just awesome shrimp and fish. It actually makes you a better musician. So if you're a struggling musician, go get some Lawrence's. You'll be better when you get back to your practice space, back to the studio. You will be an improved musician on top of having some delicious food. And you can find them at 4 different locations. So 2120 South Canal and 3242 West 87th Street in Chicago, as well as 50 South Manheim in Hillside and 3248 Vollmer Road in Olympia Fields. Or you can go online and check them out at lawrencesfishandshrimp.com. We are so excited to have them on board. I mean, me and Beef have been eating there since we were little kids, and we continue to get Lawrence's whenever we can. So very excited to have them on board. You'll be hearing about them every week on this show, and I can't wait to just start this partnership up. It's going to be fantastic. Back to you, MSS.
Yeah, buddy. Hey, that's my victory. That's my win of the week. So we're talking about how I'm losing a lot, and I'm not losing there. So we're gonna go into the world famous. We debriefed Chief about this game. It's called This or That.
One
Chief,
of my favorites.
I don't know if you know, but I sell stuff on eBay, and I've made enough money to be a stay-at-home father while I sell stuff that I find at thrift stores and at Saks Park sometimes.
His wife's also gainfully employed, just for the record.
She's very
Jerry O'Sullivan. Thanks for the drink. Appreciate it. He says Thursday night. Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry. Thank you for your work, too, trying to get us a Sunday Soak sponsor. That's awesome. We appreciate that very much. Cheers. Anyway, for you, everybody at home that hasn't heard this before, we have a game. I go into some recent sales that I've had on eBay. I list 2 items. You pick which one sold for more money on eBay. Treasy is going to go against our man, Chief. The C versus the C. Loaf is going to add in some comedy when he can. Maybe, you know what? Get on the sound effects. I think you got 2 good horns that you can use for this one.
I think because I've seen some of your eBay stuff, I've done this before. I will allow Beef to help out Chief. Beef and Chief can tag team on this.
And Chief.
He can phone a friend. He can reach out to me if he needs it. Because we've been through this before. Okay, that sounds good.
And it's odd because there's been a lot of things that I've sold recently that are Blackhawks items, so I threw those in there because I know Chief likes Blackhawks stuff. So maybe
I'm at a disadvantage.
So
thought I was coming in here good.
And we're gonna kick it off strong.
I think I'm gonna have a hard time with this, to be honest.
It's very difficult. Don't worry. We're guessing.
It's not easy. Okay, so the first item is a vintage 1994 Chicago Blackhawks starter cap. Remember the Roar. It's a snapback cap. I purchased it from the longtime scorekeeper at the Chicago Bulls, Bob Rosenberg, versus a vintage CCM NHL Chicago Blackhawks Chris Chelios hockey jersey, number 7. So you need to tell me, Chief, which one you think sold for more, the snapback hat or the vintage
the Chelios jersey?
The Chelios jersey. Okay. And
I'll say, do I have to guess a price?
No. You just have to.
You can feel free to guess a price if you thought there's a number on that.
I'll say $85.
Okay.
I like these going price.
The fact that these are together, makes me think that the hat is like a sneaky, like high priced item, like that, because like
item kind of thing.
Yeah, like someone was like, because
he said vintage with the jersey.
Yeah.
Anytime he says vintage, he's really trying to sell it. That's my feeling.
But since he got the hat from Bob, I'm guessing it's a stadium giveaway that he oversold to MSS too. So I think I have to. I want to go with the jersey. I think the jersey's right, but I'm going to go with the hat because it shouldn't be in this category. So I'm gonna go with the hat and say the hat went for $77.
Okay. The vintage starter. Oh, damn.
He's with me.
Yeah, he is with you. Oh, you're fine.
Yes, bring the dog on.
Totally fine.
Get the dog up closer.
George can have a moment.
George is fine. Don't worry about
George.
George. Yeah, we got no problems with George.
he's like, fuck this shit.
There he is. He's gonna bring him on. Yes, he's gonna.
There we go.
He's like, you haven't been on the couch for an hour and 15 minutes. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, get George in here.
We gotta watch. We're
Sorry
supposed to be watching hockey.
That's fine.
No need to apologize. We love all that shit.
So the vintage starter hat, the Remember the War snapback, $65. Very close to easy. I was impressed. The vintage NHL Blackhawks jersey, the Chris Jelly jersey, $19.99. Yeah,
what?
You're right.
Did not go so good.
I
was really bummed out.
Chorizo's up 1-0.
MSS, how much you lose on that? I want to know.
I think I paid $4 for it.
Okay, for the Chelios.
Once in a while, you get they have like the deals, right? So yeah. All right, I'm just gonna write this down. All right, next up, brand new. The brand is called Stance. It's a very high-end sock company. Red Hot Chili Pepper socks, size large and extra large, versus a vintage 1993 Chicago White Sox AL Western Division Champions jacket, size XL.
I'm first.
Yeah, you're first. Red Hot Chili Pepper socks.
I mean,
1993 Chicago White Sox jacket.
I'm thinking of the fan bases because like this is not like you're selling it on Twitter. You're selling this on eBay.
Yeah, eBay. Worldwide.
It's gonna be the stupid Red Hot Chili Pepper socks. Like it's got to be the stupid socks. Like those they went for like $47 and the jacket went for like 34 or something. Like that's where I'm going with this one.
And Chief, you can pick the same thing. You don't have to pick the opposite, but if you want to win and make it interesting,
I also
you
want to catch up, and I feel like a jacket is a reasonable. Like I feel like you might be getting caught in the same trap. Like the socks versus the jacket. This time it should be the jacket. I'm going with the jacket.
Going with the jacket. Okay, the Red Hot Chili Pepper socks, $14.99. The Chicago White Sox AL Western Division Champs jacket, $9.99.
Oh my God,
horrible!
You're doing terrible on your eBay sales.
Wow.
Man. Yeah, listen. Do we need to pump you up, Chief? You need to pump up my Sox Summers. He's losing his fucking nest egg on these eBay deals.
Next time.
I literally paid $9.99 for that jacket, so I lost like $6 probably with all the eBay fees and everything. It's just horrible. All right, this is a good one. All right, Chief, you're up first. An original lot of 35 Thai Beanie Babies versus a 2014 David Ortiz bobblehead that was given away at a game.
This seems like it's too easy, which makes me think I should zag again towards that David Ortiz bobblehead.
Okay.
Did they win it in 14?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. Did they?
No, they won it in 13. 13. I don't think he broke any records, so I don't think it's like a commemorative bobblehead.
But if they won it in 13, then
pointing at the sky.
The next year is the year that they would have done the bobblehead based off of it.
Ooh,
that's true.
I'll take that.
Okay.
I'm also going bobblehead because Beanie Babies are fucking worthless.
Okay. Well, much to both of your chagrin, the 35-piece lot of Beanie Babies went for $58. The David Ortiz bobblehead went for $50. So it was only an $8 difference, but Neither one of you scored a point. Treasy's still up 2-0. Okay, we're going into the fourth one. One of your big advertisers, Chief, Miller Lite, they're going to play a role in this one. Teresa, you're up first. A 90s Miller Lite jacket / vest, which was like a work coat, that a delivery driver would wear when he's out delivering stuff, versus a Delta Airlines Cintas insulated work coverall. So like the guys that are out on the ramp, and loading your stuff into the car or load into the plane, not the car. Hopefully, like one of the long.
Yeah, I make those guys load up my car too.
Yeah, those guys.
Allegedly.
Anyway, these are the guys that are freezing their ass off, putting your luggage in the plane that don't give a fuck about it. The overalls or the 90s Miller Lite work jacket.
I'm gonna go. I feel like the light jacket is the sexy pick. I'm gonna go with the Cintas. Cintas is good shit. I think that we're gonna go. Those are probably going for like $80. I'm gonna go.
All right.
I'm taking the Miller Lite just because I'm loyal to Miller Lite, and it should be worth more. Whether or not that's reality, I don't know.
It's the money move, right? Okay. I am so disappointed in this whole thing because the Miller Lite jacket was beautiful, had a nice patch. I mean, it was everything you wanted in the 90s. This thing would have sold for $150 in the 90s. Sold for $14.99. I was very upset. The Delta Airlines coveralls, I knew we were going to do pretty well. I didn't know how well they were going to do. They sold for $87, but also had
oh my goodness,
28 bids. 28 bids. Like I can't tell you, shit. As I'm sitting there like watching it, I'm like, what in the fuck is going? I think I started, and it sold for $87.
I feel like we just found out that Delta makes their people pay for their own shit, and that someone was like, "Man, I could get this for $87. They charged me $150 for this."
I actually
that's a good call, Treasy.
I've had a run on well, we can tell Teef this too. I sold 2 prosthetic legs on eBay, like the joint parts of the knee and everything. And the guys that bought them, I sent them a message and I was like, "Why did you buy this?" And they go, "The hardware is cheaper to buy what you have than it is to get it from a doctor. So it's better to buy it on eBay than it is to go through the doctor."
That's fucked up.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
But yeah, why did those become
legs.
Available on the market?
So I was in a.
Somebody have to die for you to get that.
This is probably not.
Your inquisitive mind is going to take you to a place you don't want to go. Chief.
Good night, everyone. I'll see you later.
They were. I was actually at a garage sale in Rock Falls, Illinois, and the guy had 2 prosthetic legs sitting there, and they had Harley Davidson emblems on the part where the knee or the leg would go into, and I was like, those seem like they would be cool to like put up in some bar or whatever. And I asked the guy, I go, "Can I get both of them for $20?" And guys, absolutely, here you go. So I left them in my garage for a year just in case they were haunted, so the spirits would inhabit the garage, not my house. And then I sold them like a year later for like $125 each. It's insane.
That guy crashed his motorcycle, and the first time, so you had a prosthetic. The second time is when you got possession of his prosthetic.
It's insane. It's really insane. But anyway, I made money, so that's what I'm here to do. That's my job.
That's the important thing.
That's the important part. All right, so Teresa's up 3-0 right now. This is a good one though. You guys are both, you're both.
Okay. I gotta say, I like this game, even though I'm getting smoked. I'm enjoying it.
It's a fun game. No, it's one of our best bits.
Right.
It is. It is a good bit. Okay, so I have a 1986 vintage Big Bird and Cookie Monster talking Sesame Street toys. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but back in the day, remember Teddy Ruxpin? Like you would put the tape in it and the guy would read the book to you.
Yeah.
Animated. It's an animated stuffed animal.
Your doppelganger has one in his background on YouTube too.
Yes, LA Beast. Yes. So they had in 1986, Ideal made a talking Cookie Monster and a Big Bird. I sold those together, and that's going up against a rare Toy Story signature collection Buzz Lightyear doll. Now, it was working, but it was missing some of the parts on it. Okay, so this is the Buzz Lightyear that talks and his head moves, and he's somewhat animated.
You
So
wouldn't have used air
both are-
quotes if you got a good price on it. So like it's the Big Bird and Grimace or whatever the other
Okay.
one was.
Okay,
So I'm
gonna
going
go
with that one.
I agree.
you're gonna go with the Big Bird and Cookie Monster. Okay, so the ideal versions of Big Bird and Cookie Monster, $49.99. The Toy Story Signature Collection Buzz Lightyear, $40.99. So $9 difference. You guys are both correct. If I had a legit working one that had
you're
all the
so
parts,
pissed. You're so pissed about. I could tell you're pissed off about this sale. Like you thought you had the money maker. You thought like this was gonna make it rain on you. You're like, oh man, I only got $40 out of this piece of shit. Fuck Buzz Lightyear, fuck Buzz Aldrin, fuck them all.
You know how much it goes for if it's like complete and in nice condition, like $150. So to get $40 for it, I was just happy to get it out of my house, to be honest.
How much would the Big Bird and Cookie Monster go for if you sold them separately?
I actually did sell a Big Bird separately after this because I don't know. Sometimes you just run into things. And I had two of them. Actually,
he's got a Big Bird farm in his basement. Goodness.
I've only seen the Cookie Monster one time, and I bought him. And then he was with the. This is something that if you're a buyer reseller, if you see one thing that's vintage and like it was a set of something, you probably will find the other part there too, so that like you get the Cookie Monster. Yes, thank you.
The MD 2020 is kicking in.
It is. I don't even know if that is. I think that's just how I say stuff. I don't say things correctly. But yeah, no, like if you find something that's vintage in the set, like usually you'll find more of them, right? Like you're like, oh, this person just died or this person just moved, so they're like dumping all their stuff there, so you can usually find it. So it's worth it to like look around a little more. But yeah, no, the Sesame Street, I think the Big Bird sold for like $35. Like I don't think it was great. And the guy that got these was like, I can fix anything, so if they're not working, I'll just fix them. And because I was like, I don't even have a tape to see if these things work, so I can't even like plug them in or do anything. But they were very clean.
I'm honestly very worried about you going to prison for your Big Bird mill. It's not. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't have that many birds.
Oh, Steven, you stop it. You're at the same thrift stores as me trying to do the same thing. You take it easy.
The cannibal talk didn't worry you, but the Big Bird mill.
That's
you're like, that's great.
People dying.
Yes,
leaving
exactly.
All the collectibles.
Exactly.
All right. The next thing is, and this is White Sox related versus Blackhawks. This is crazy. A Chris Sale White Sox autographed baseball hat, which has been authenticated by MLB, versus a Chicago Blackhawks autographed hat of Patrick Sharp and Stan Mikita.
It's a weird combo,
right? Well, both autographed hats.
No, just to have Sharp and Mikita.
Sharp and Mikita, and what was the Sox one?
The Sox one was Chris Sale.
Okay,
former Major League pitcher.
Who's up first here?
Current Major League pitcher.
I think it's Chief.
I just feel like there's always like hockey's too niche, so I feel like the baseball is always going to be worth more. So I'll go with Sale.
I'm going to go the other way because people are volatile about Sale. It's a White Sox guy kind of condensed down into like some people are mad that he's not here anymore and things. So like, all right, I'm gonna go with Blackhawks hat.
Okay.
On this one, yeah.
Okay. Chris Sale autograph hat, MLB authenticated, $75. Chicago Blackhawks hat with Patrick Sharp and Sam Mikita, $19.99.
So I was very close.
Now
you've been waiting for that, Beef.
I'll say this: it took nearly 2 years to sell that Chris Sale hat. I mean, I got it at the Sox garage sale for $10.
Impressive time value of money. I appreciate.
Took forever to sell it. Took forever. The Blackhawks hat sold as soon as I put it up. So I mean, I don't know if I undervalue that or what. But there was also a couple other people that were on there, Chief. I could not identify their autographs. So maybe I got fucked. Who knows?
Maybe.
Okay, next up, this is we're going to bobblehead territory and White Sox related. White Sox mascot Southpaw, Hall of Fame replica ring and bobbleheads. It's a set, so they made a Hall of Fame ring for him that they gave away, or that they.
I love that he's in the Hall of Fame, mascot Hall of Fame,
and a bobblehead of him wearing a bright gold jacket versus a Jim Thome 500 home run bobblehead that was only given away at Sox Fest. So yeah, we have the replica ring and bobblehead of Southpaw going into the Hall of Fame versus Jim Thome's Sox Fest bobblehead. Chief, Sox Fest is like, a fan festival that they just give away to like fancy people.
Yeah.
Chirizi, you're up first.
The only reason I'm gonna normally I would go Southpaw on this, but you're the big bobblehead guy, and there have been like these like fan fest and different scenarios where it's like it's very difficult to get that bobblehead, and like people pay insane amounts, especially for a Hall of Famer like Thome. So I'm gonna go with the Jim Thome bobblehead.
All right,
I'm going Thome too. I feel like you were twisting Oreos when you were saying that,
dude. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. What 5, 6? We got 6 more. So like, you might want to start playing some odds here, buddy. You're down.
Well, I feel like this is where I
two.
dig a bigger hole. I'm going with Thome because
going with Thome. All right. Sounds good. Mascot Hall of Fame ring and bobblehead $100. The Jim Thome 500 home run bobblehead $70.
Who paid $100 for that? I want.
People are weird.
I want to. I've got a whole bunch of bullshit I could sell that person. Just give me their address.
That person's a mark, right?
I have an entire basement you can't see on camera full of all that shit, Chirizi. Don't worry about it. And I got them taken care of. Now, this one's fun. This is a fun one. I see Head Bum in Charge in here. You're gonna love this. And I think our other Chicago bums are in here too. I have a Weller Bourbon Nike golf polo. So it is a golf polo
shirt. A lot of stuff
with the Weller logo embroidered on the sleeve. So it's obviously a liquor rep that would wear this out when he was going out to sell shirts or whatever, or to go sell bottles to people. And it was green. It was a nice green and green label. This is a special reserve Weller. So it's a nice little polo shirt versus a 2016 Chirizi. You're with me when I got this X-Stage pass from Wrigley Field in 2016.
You got to repeat that.
I'm sorry.
For a second.
So I have a Pearl Jam backstage pass from 2016 when they played Wrigley Field. So it's a Weller Bourbon green polo or a backstage pass from the 2016 Pearl Jam concert at Wrigley Field.
So wait, MSS. Is this the show where one of the White Sox vendors was doing the merch, and then you just like skipped the whole line and went and got all the merch? And then is it an on-field pass or actual backstage pass?
It's a backstage pass.
Okay, so that was separate from what we did.
Yeah, no, this is not the same thing.
Because so Chief, we went to this show, and MSS just has like the regular tickets at Wrigley, just like we up in the seats or something. And he's like, "Yo, I saw someone post like a template of like what the ticket looks like for the downstairs, and he's a graphic designer. He just like made 2 of them, and he's like, let's see what happens." And so we go in, and like this is for like the on-field thing, and we just walk up and we're just like, well, if they scan it and it doesn't work, whatever, we're good. We'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah,
they don't scan them; they just give us the wristbands, and we walk out on the field. And so we're standing there, and we're by the beer stand. Like, where else would we stand, right? And so this guy comes up to me, who like I've known forever. He used to own Beer Bistro in on Madison, like right by in the West Loop.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking to me, and there's this guy standing next to him in a hoodie that I just don't even fucking pay any mind to. Like, I'm just like, who the fuck? I don't know who this guy is. I don't care. It's fucking Theo Epstein. was hanging out with him, and like I just like was like who the fuck is that guy? I'm talking to my buddy, you know. So we are not even supposed to be on the field. We end up down there, and I'm in a conversation with Theo Epstein, and I could not give a fuck what he's saying. I'm just like not even paying attention to it.
That's awesome. Have you tried that move again?
Well, you can't. You know how they don't have like you can't. They don't accept PDF tickets anymore, right? Like we would print them
all
out
on the phone now. You can't do it as well, but you can.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I mean, like the stadium
bullshit. They won't let you.
To get people level to level, you could still do the still do the picture of the ticket.
Okay. I want to make sure that everybody understands that we actually had tickets to get into the concert. I did not have fake tickets. We got scanned in on.
We don't know
tickets. No, we did.
And then
I had a second pair of ones that had
to get the wristband.
Yeah, to get the wristband. Yeah. So I had 4 tickets to get in there, but I only paid for 2.
There's plenty of room on the field. We didn't knock anybody out of the field.
No, we were fine. We stayed way in the back with the beer tent and just got wasted.
We did drink a lot tonight.
It was insane. The Weller Bourbon Polo versus the Pearl Jam Guest Backstage Pass.
Who's up first?
I think
I went Tommy first, so it's
okay. All right, so Chief, you're up here. Down 3-1.
This is where I'm like fading myself at this point, but my gut says, my initial reaction says the Backstage Pass because it's memorabilia or whatever, but I'm going with the Polo.
Okay.
I think bourbon people are nuts, but I think Pearl Jam fans are way crazier. Like I think Pearl Jam fans, like if I farted in a bottle and said this is a pure Eddie Vedder fart, I could get $200 online for it. So I'm gonna go with the Pearl Jam one.
Okay, so the Weller Bourbon Nike Golf Polo, $39.99. The Pearl Jam Backstage Pass, $29.99.
Oh wow,
you're close.
Nice. I can't believe Luke didn't pay more for that.
No, the guy that
like, why would you want to buy a pass of a show that you didn't have?
Oh,
that you didn't go to. You don't have the story,
right?
It, you know? Yeah. But people buy tons of bullshit on eBay, according to this show.
People love that shit. They just love it. It's insane. I have a flyer from when the Smashing Pumpkins released Siamese Dream, and they played a show at the Metro, and they paid $15. It was $15 a ticket. I haven't put it up on eBay yet because I'm waiting for the Pumpkins to like kind of change the narrative and they're not such dickheads. But I wanted to sell that. I'm assuming I'm going to get like $100 for it. I just know somebody's going to pay for it. It's just nuts. So next up, this is a hard one. So you're going to have to go with me here. I bought these little things. They're mini Tecate speed bags, which are part of like an advertisement thing. Somebody had taken like at a bar. They put up a streamer of the like all these little, speed bags, like boxing speed bags that said Tecate on them, but they cut them all off. I bought a bag of 30 of them and was like, I could probably resell these versus a Camel Cigarettes coffee mug, which just says like, great taste or whatever the fuck whatever their thing is. But like it has like the camel and then it says Camel across it. Just a coffee mug versus 33 mini Tecate boxing speed bags.
You're overselling the Tecate speed bags, but as a guy who loves Tecate, I got to go with it.
I'm zagging the other way. I want that mug. I don't smoke. I love Don Draper. I love Mad Men. I feel like I want a smoker's mug.
Okay.
You win this bet, you have to start smoking. Let's go.
Is it bad?
It's no good. The mini Tecate boxing speed bags, 33 of them, $14.99. The Camel Cigarettes coffee mug, $9.99. I was so bummed out when that fucking shit went down.
Oof. Damn.
All right, we're 4-2.
I mean,
all right.
I don't even feel bad for our bad guessing. I feel bad for how your eBay business is going. It seems like it's in the dregs. It's like you're doing bad.
I got into a point where I'm like, I need to start getting rid of stuff that's in my basement. So I just start putting $9.99 on everything, and like a lot of things are selling for $9.99. So it's okay.
We'll keep that in mind.
We're
keep
getting
that
it
in
out
mind for the next couple of rounds.
Now, I don't know if you noticed, but like everything's real expensive nowadays, right? So I went to a thrift store one time and found a ton of like razors that were brand new. Razors, like, like shavers and stuff, like for your legs, for your face, everything. They were 70 cents a piece. So I bought a shitload of them, and I was like, I'm gonna just flip these for ridiculous amounts of money. So 2 of them just sold. A Schick Hydro Silk Sensitive women's razor, 1 handle plus 2 refills, versus a Schick Quattro for women, 1 handle, 4 cartridges.
All right, let me just level set here. You're selling first store razors now?
Brand new package.
You fall off a truck? Where do you find razors?
I don't like.
Wow,
listen,
this is something.
When I saw the box of all that stuff, I was like, "How much is it?" They're like 70 cents a piece. I'm like, I'm buying as many as I can.
I'm a little nervous about all of this, to be honest. I'm glad Chief's up first this time.
I'll say
so, Chief. It's the Hydro Silk versus the Quattro.
I think I'm going to go with that Hydro Silk.
Okay.
It sounds nice. Sounds nicer.
Okay.
I'll just go Oppo. I'm going to go Quattro.
You're going to go Quattro?
Obviously, I don't know razors.
You don't know women's razors? Amazing. I don't either. So the Schick Hydro sold for $11.99. The Schick Quattro sold for $9.99. Chief, you're within 2.
Within 1, I thought. I thought it was 4-2.
Within 1. You're right.
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
4-3.
I was wrong.
Yeah.
That's totally wrong.
Yeah.
But actually, and I looked these up because like they sold like really quick. A bunch of them sold really quick just recently. The same things go for $25 on fucking at Walgreens or whatever. So okay, now here's another one. Oh, Loaf's gone. I think
he was just laughing because his wife said, "Next, I'll see MSS by 1994 ramp selling this shit."
Listen, I don't have that kind of time. If I did, I would. I get some roses.
The next one up is like 50 white socks.
Exactly. Ultra pack of tube socks.
Colored. Other ones, all white. Oh, so Deities and Demigods, which is an advanced Dungeons and Dragons book.
That one.
First edition versus the World Pog Federation Micro Tournament game pack with 54 Pogs.
No.
Hang on. Is it Pog, P-O-G, or P-A-W-G?
P-O-G-S.
Okay, just checking. All right, thank you.
Dungeons and Dragons just kind of blasted out of the water. Like it's not even
okay.
I don't even need to think about that one.
I am thinking about it.
There are 2 left after this, Chief. There's 2 left.
I'll keep it within 1. I'll keep it within 1 for this one.
Okay, so what are you taking?
Whatever he took.
Well, okay, yeah, the Deities,
the
and Demigods
one. Okay. Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons, yeah.
I paid $1 for that book. It sold for $125. I'm pretty sure I probably could have got 200 and something for it. I fucked up. Not a big deal. The World Pog Federation Tournament Game Pack, $19.99. So yeah, good call. It's a rare book. I sent it in a mailer and I encased it in the nerd was still upset with me because it wasn't packaged properly. So I was I had almost
wild shit.
Had to fight a nerd over the internet, but I didn't do it. All right, so no one wins on that one. Okay, here we go. This is where we're starting. We have 2 left. Okay, 2 left. We've come down to 2. A 2019 David Putty Seinfeld bobblehead doll of the Devils, where he is dressed up like the devil.
That's a good one.
Versus a full set of Cheap Trick, the band bobblehead set that they gave away at a Rivets game up in Rockford. So you have Cheap Trick versus David Putty as the devil. And that's Chief's call first.
Well, if I'm going to go down, I'm going down with David Putty. Okay. So I feel like that's wrong. I feel like it's wrong. That's one of my favorite TV characters of all time. I'm going with David Putty. I hope someone loves him as much as I love him.
We're going to take this to the last one to see if it ties up because it's got to be Putty. Like Cheap Trick, I love Cheap Trick, but Cheap Trick is it feels like a very regional situation at this point. Like Putty is a absolute like Seinfeld's a worldwide phenomenon.
Okay.
And like Cheap Trick, I mean, like I know back in the day they were huge, but I think now it's not like that. It's this area, really. It's the Midwest. I'm gonna go with Putty.
Okay. Teresi, just so you know, the Hard Rock Casino opened in Rockford, and they released a bobblehead of Rick Nielsen with the 6-headed guitar. It sold for $150 right out the gate. Like insane money, like just ridiculous. So they're still very popular, but the 2009 David Putty Devil bobblehead sold for $175. The Cheap Trick set sold for $150. So only a $25 difference, but yes, the David Putty one. Now, last one. For all the marbles here, guys, or Teresi can sandbag you. We'll see what happens. The Chicago Blackhawks winter hat that was given away at a game versus a Barstool Sportsbook winter hat that was given away when you placed a $50 bet.
Which I'm just a sports book, or was it a special?
It's a sports book. Yeah, it's a sports book one. Nothing special. I think it had the patch. It had like this said the Barstool Sportsbook patch. Teresi, you might be able to explain it better because you gave it to me.
I'm first, right? So like I'm gonna go with the Blackhawks one.
Okay.
Because I mean, like, I want to let Chief try and tie it up, and it's got to be. I can't see him going against his own company.
It's just too low.
You serious? Of course I would.
But I'll go Blackhawks, and just because, like, I feel like sportsbook stuff is on the fringe still. Like, I feel like it's weird. Like I think like people are still hesitant to like be very open about how much they bet, even though we all know you've been betting for fucking ever and probably more than you should. Like, so I'm gonna go with the Blackhawks one, but Chief, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, it's my only chance to tie it up. So I'm going with the sports book as well. I do think that we have some very passionate people that they would want to get their hands on that. If it's like not just something you can get in the Barstool store necessarily, that's like more rare. So
I will say the sportsbook stuff is from looking at like the sites and stuff, like these only come up in like the specific promotions and the bets. So like you'd have to have made a bet, and sometimes you would have to win the bet to actually get it. So like it is probably fairly rare for someone who's a big stoolie, would probably be a significant thing.
Yeah. And I can't say for that item, but for like the Chicago patch hoodie or the we have Benny the Bull doing like the Jordan through the air. Like we could never sell that, but that was a hoodie that people asked me to put that in the store all the time. So I think there's a passion for it. So I'll go with the sports book.
Okay. The Chicago Blackhawks giveaway winner hat, $15. The Barstool Sportsbook beanie hat, $19.99. We have a tie, folks.
I know. Tiebreaker?
Oh, we don't. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go with the two most recent things I just sold, because I just sold something during the show. Okay.
All right. Well,
give me 1 second. All right. A Northern Illinois University varsity leather jacket, like a Letterman's jacket, versus a vintage XX America. Oh fuck! Did I go out?
You froze up. Okay. Double X what?
Double X vintage official headwear Boy Scouts of America beret.
So it's a jacket versus a beret?
Yeah, a beret from the Boy Scouts. And then Northern Illinois University Letterman's jacket.
All right. Well,
Chief goes first.
Chief's up first.
Treasy, you have to take the other.
I want that Letterman jacket.
You're taking the Letterman's jacket? Okay.
Man, God damn it! I got a fucking Boy Scouts beret.
You got
That's
the
what
Boy
I'm going
Scouts
with. All right,
beret.
I'll take it. I'll take
And
it.
literally, and I'm not kidding you, this sold like 3 minutes ago. The Northern Illinois varsity leather jacket, $19.99. The Boy Scouts hat, $35. Chirizi, still champion. Chief, come on.
Chirizi always wins, man. He always wins this game.
Did way better than Beef's ever done. Like,
well, you
That's
did.
true.
You
That's
did
true.
let me back in, and I feel like in the last round with the Barstool, like you knew that was the right one. So you only did that because you knew you could snatch it right back from him.
let me
evil
just
like
say,
that. Yeah, that's
I
true.
did not expect to win on a Boy Scouts beret. That's not where I was expecting the win to come from.
I didn't know that we were going to have to go this far, but I'm glad that we did. That was fun. Boys, it's been a time. Chief, thank you very much for coming on here and listening to me like slowly paddle this boat to the conclusion. I appreciate it. I don't take a lot of reps doing this stuff, so I thank you very much for coming on. We love you guys. We love Barstool. We enjoy being up there so much, and the banter back and forth. Thank you for participating in our weight loss challenge, even though you're not really participating. I appreciate it.
It's a health crisis.
It is a health crisis. But thank you very much for coming on, and we hope to see you more than 3 times this summer. Try to get between a happy medium between 3 and 16.
3 and 16. I will try. I'll set the over/under at 7 this year.
Okay.
Oh, wow, that's huge.
That would be a record for me. But I
That's
am on the
huge.
ban list twice, so
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
it's going to be hard for me.
So
to
Cusack, he's there all the time.
Yeah. But thanks for having me, guys, and we really appreciate doing stuff with you guys too. You guys it's like weird to have internet friends, but I'm glad I met you guys. You guys make going to White Sox games bearable for me. Otherwise, I'd be sitting next to who the whole time. So,
That's true.
So yeah, so it's been great being on. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Take care, Chief.
Oh, you kicked him out. Okay, I didn't know how to do it, so I was like, "How do we?" Kick him out?
I figured that was your problem, so I was just
I have
trying.
no idea. I don't do this. It's like I'm
Now it's
driving
time.
a car I don't understand.
It's time for the thank yous or the
It is.
GFYs, whichever one you guys want to do. So, fellas, it is thank you time. Beef, I'm going to start with you because you haven't talked in like 6 hours. Who are you thanking or GFYing this week?
Beautiful. My GFY goes to all the fucking pussies still complaining about the defensive holding call at the end of the Super Bowl, okay? Unless you're James Bradbury's mama, you should be done complaining, okay? That's a call in a real game. No problem. Shut the fuck up. It didn't matter in the end score. You're all complaining a bunch of crybabies like everyone who complains about the refs is. Get over it. The Super Bowl's over. Let's move on to baseball.
I love it. And I'm with you. It is, I mean, like, it's not like it was a 3-3 game and this shit happened. You gave up like over 30 points. Like, yeah, calm down. MSS, who are you thinking or who are you GFYing?
You know what? I'm going to think. I think I had a GFY, but the Mad Dog 2020 has erased my memory. I have no idea what's happened. So I'm just gonna say thank you very much to Lawrence's Fish and Shrimp for like sailing up with us and like coming on board, taking a risk on a product that or on a podcast, blog, whatever, that it has like a lot of like cachet, and we have a lot of good swing, but like it's still hard to get people to be like, so what do you guys do again? Like we talk about shit we sold on eBay. Oh, we talk about the White Sox. We talk, about this. So I appreciate it for them coming on board and giving us a chance, to promote their product. So it's fun.
Yeah, and I love promoting things that we actually believe in.
For sure.
And that's what's really great. I will tell you this much. There has been Lawrence's in my Mazda. Like that is heard. So it couldn't be a better second spot in this podcast. I'm very psyched for that. I do have one thank you.
Sure,
and I want to thank Bovada Sportsbook. I want to thank them for reminding me how fucking terrible offshore books are. I couldn't grade a bet by Thursday after the Super Bowl. I didn't even want to do this as a GFY because I just want to just thank them for just a reminder to us that like now we have legal sports betting here. We don't have to deal with you anymore. So goodbye, Bovada. Thank you for being terrible at this to remind me that you guys fucking suck. All right. And that should be it for tonight. And I got to admit, guys, I didn't get as drunk as I thought.
I'm
but
pretty
I'm
hammered.
pretty drunk.
Atta boy.
Yep,
Good night,
that's
everybody.
worked.